All right, so welcome back to the second lecture video on thermodynamics. So in our previous lesson, we talked about the boundary, surroundings, properties of a system. I told you we have two types: the internal and the external. So internal is independent on the mass of the system. External is dependent solely on the mass of the system. Then we have what we call the types of system: the control mass system, control volume system, then the isolated what system. So control mass is the same as closed system, in which mass is not transferred across the boundary, but energy in the form of heat or work can be transferred across the system. Then we have open system, which is the transfer of mass and energy is both allowed to occur within that system. Then a special case of a control mass system is the isolated system, in which mass and energy cannot be transferred. Then we spoke about the equilibrium of or the equilibrium state of a system, which are the mechanical, thermal, and chemical, where mechanical remains as pressure being constant, thermal remains as temperature being constant, and chemical remaining as chemical composition being constant. Then we spoke about process, state, and path. State is defined as when a system undergoes a series of equilibrium points. So equilibrium point one, equilibrium point two, equilibrium point three. So within one and two, we call it a process. Within two and three, we call it a process because in between one and two, one has the same equilibrium point as two, which is one, and has the same as three, which is one. Then we spoke about state. State is what a property defines a system as. That's the state. Then we have the path. Path is the series a system undergoes through during a process. So during the process, there are some way or series of connection that the system undergoes. So from one to two is a path, from two to three is a path. Then we have what we call specific gravity and specific weight. That's what I said we'll be looking at in this lecture. So specific gravity and specific weight. So let me start with the specific gravity. So specific gravity is represented with Sg. It's given by the formula the density of the substance divided by the density of water. So if you want to know the specific gravity of any particular substance, it is the ratio of the density of that substance to that of the density of water. Then you have specific weight. That one is also represented with this and W. It is the specific weight of the substance times. Okay, so let me prove this for you. It is given as rho g. Rho g, the density of the substance times acceleration due to what? Gravity. And this one gives us an overview of what we call specific properties. Specific property of a substance is defined as the ratio of the extensive property of that substance divided by the mass. Divided by the mass. So it is represented with E over mass. Extensive property over mass is what we call the specific what property, where E is the external property, M is the mass of the system. I told you that external properties or extensive properties do not depend on the mass of the system. So if you have any property, then you divide it to the mass, you get the specific property. So for instance, if I give you volume over this small vein is what. So with this, I can say that density is what? Mass over volume. So if I have volume over mass, then that would be like place it 1/density is equals to the inverse of what? The inverse of density. It's equals to the inverse of density. So here external property or these three with a mass, you get what? The specific property. So if I have total mass over the mass of the system, we call it specific mass. If I have total volume, capital V over mass, I'll get small v, which is specific what? Which is what? Which is the specific what? Volume. If you have total momentum over mass, we call it specific momentum in that order. And it is represented with small letters. The specific properties are represented with small letters. So this is what I have here. This is what I have here. So these are the things I have. All right. So let me just walk you through some other stuffs. So you have something called temperature scale. And temperature scale, from what we know the degree Celsius. We have what we call the Kelvin. We have what we call the Fahrenheit. And we have what we call Rankine. Rankine. So if you have a temperature in degrees Celsius, you want to change it to Kelvin, you just add 273.15 your already temperature in degrees Celsius. If you want a temperature reading in Rankine given to you in Kelvin, you add 459.67. And these ones are OBJ questions. They can give you a temperature in Rankine. They tell you to find it in Kelvin. You make Kelvin the subject. You subtract 459.67 from the Rankine they gave you. Sometimes it is one. Then, if you want to convert from Rankine to Kelvin, you multiply it with 1.8, or you multiply it with 9 out of 5. 9 out of 5 is the same as 1.8. So 9 out of 5 times that in Rankine. And if you want to convert from Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius, it is 5 out of 9 times the temperature which was given to you in Fahrenheit minus 32. So these are the various expressions we have to convert between the temperature scales in thermodynamics. So I said I want to make the course simpler for you. So I'll be doing it bit by bit like that. So these are the things you should know. You should know now. Are you okay? So I'll come your way again with the next knowledge that you should have. But till then, stay safe and blessed.